Greetings, Aries and Aries rising. This is your Western forecast for May 2024. There's going to be 5 planets transiting Taurus. This is a major emphasis. Taurus is an earth sign. Earth is stability, groundedness, really focused on financial security. All 5 of these planets, which is also going to include the new moon that really draws your attention to money matters, as all that Taurus influence is in the second sign past Aries or Aries rising, and the second house deals with money matters. So being in Taurus, 5 planets in Taurus, and in your second house of income and money management, this is the major emphasis. But the sun is going to leave Taurus, earthy Taurus, financial Taurus, on the 20th of May and go into the air sign of Gemini. So there's more of this waking up to more ideas and space and freedom and travel, because earth signs are very grounded. Air signs wants a lot of space and travel and freedom. Also, Venus, that planet of attraction and desire, was also in Taurus, but come May the 23rd, it goes into Gemini, and expansive Jupiter, that's been in Taurus since May of 2023, is moving into Gemini on May the 25th, 2024. So you're going to see a big shift just in general of this grounded, stabilizing, security-oriented energy of Taurus, especially with 5 planets transiting Taurus. But then by the end of the month, it's shifting into the air signs. And so wanting more freedom, more space, more intellectual stimulation. But before I break down what each of these planets moving through Taurus, and then also Jupiter changing signs once a year going into Gemini, and what all that will mean for you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find links to sign up for my free daily message, or how to book an astrology reading. All right. The new moon is on May the 7th, and it's in Taurus, drawing your attention towards money matters. That new moon will hold that financial matters, keeping your attention on money matters, till the next new moon, which is 4 weeks later. This new moon is being impacted by Uranus. Uranus brings in wanting sudden surprises, unpredictable results, breakthrough energy, something new and innovative. Now, the sun will be transiting the first 20 days in Taurus in your second house of income. Where the sun is transiting is where you're lighting up. What's most important? And you're going to be really focused on finances. But the sun is also going to be catching up to Uranus, which has been transiting Taurus since like 2018. And Uranus is that liberating breakthrough energies. So Taurus, the sun in Taurus crossing Uranus, and Uranus is part of the new moon energies. You can expect some unexpected, exciting breakthrough energies with money matters, maybe coming into a windfall of monies. Well, let's break this down further. Venus, that planet of love and desire, but Venus is also a financial planet because it likes the finer things in life that cost money. Plus, Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus, the security money sign. Venus is that power of attraction. And once a year, when it transits in your second house of income, or when it's transiting in Taurus, which is the first 23 days of May, you're going to have strong desires to spend money on luxury goods. That's one interpretation. But it also has the power of attracting more money to you. Now, you might be spending your money on luxury goods, on art, on expensive items. But Jupiter is that planet of abundance, prosperity, opportunities. It moves through all the signs every 12 years. Jupiter went into Taurus, into your second house of income in May of 2023, and it finally leaves on the 25th of May when it goes into Gemini, into your third house. Now, Jupiter in Taurus, you know, some people are like, where's all this money I was promised? But Jupiter can make sure you have enough money, there's financial opportunities, you're being protected, but it does want to bring in opportunities to increase your income, especially this month, up until the 25th when the Jupiter leaves Taurus, but because the Sun is putting a real spotlight on Taurus in your second house of income, and Venus, the ruler of Taurus, that Venus is really strong, transiting your second house of income. And the Uranus can bring in all these sudden surprises and breakthrough energies. Now, so a major emphasis on money matters. If you spend a lot, you may be spending it all, but with moderation, and this will be helped with Taurus, because Taurus is an earth sign. It's grounded, it's practical, it's sensible, and Taurus isn't inclined to just spend all the money. So this could be very favorable for investing, for figuring out how to negotiate to increase your income. Mercury, business savvy Mercury, is going into Taurus, but not until the middle of May. So the last 2 weeks of May with Mercury in Taurus, very favorable for financial negotiations. Mercury is the negotiations. But let's back up. Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, is the ruling planet for Aries. So your ruling planet, Mars, is transiting through the sign of Aries, as it does once every 2 years. And it started at the end of April, but it's in your first house, crossing your sign, your rising sign, all of May until June the 8th. So that Mars in the first house, once every 2 years, is giving you the courage to take action, to initiate new projects, which with all that alignment in Taurus, how to make more money, how to take risks and initiate new projects to increase your income. Now, the Sun will leave Taurus, go into Gemini, an air sign. Air signs wants more space, more freedom, more mental stimulation, where the Taurus is more this real sensible grounding energy. The air sign of the Sun going into Gemini, an air sign, there's more of this lighthearted spirit, this freedom, these ideas. It's a lot lighter, where Taurus is a lot more grounded. But the Sun going into Gemini is moving into your third house, as Gemini is 3 signs past Aries. The third house is the house of communications and ideas and learning and writing, also traveling. Now, Venus, that planet of creativity and desire, is also leaving Taurus, moving into Gemini on May the 23rd into the first part of June. Venus, through the third house, could be really favorable for creative writing, singing, a strong desire to learn. The third house has a lot to do with traveling. With that, Venus could be all this pleasure, traveling. The third house is also where we look to for siblings or our close neighbors. And Venus brings in all this harmony, this social favorable energies. And now Jupiter. Jupiter, been in Taurus in your second house of income for the past 12 months, once every 12 years. But on May the 25th, it's going into Gemini for 1 year. And Gemini is moving into the third house. Now, Jupiter is the planet that seeks knowledge, and the third house is the sector of learning and writing and ideas. So on an intellectual level, this begins a cycle, and with the Sun in Gemini and Venus in Gemini at the end of May into the first part of June, you might be much more compelled and motivated to go back to school, maybe to start teaching, taking a workshop. That Jupiter is always very curious, seeking knowledge and wisdom. In Gemini, Gemini is an actual intellectual sign, but for Aries and Aries rising, it's in your third house of information, communications. This is really favorable for selling or for learning new job skills to make more money, because you're still under this influence, even though the Sun and Venus and Jupiter will be leaving Taurus towards in your second house of income towards the end of the month. The new moon is in Taurus on May the 7th, lasting for 4 weeks. The new moon is where your intention is being focused upon. For you, money matters. So these financial matters are really strong into the first part of June. And Uranus, rebellious, liberating, innovative Uranus, remains in Taurus for another year till July 2025, when it goes into Gemini. Now, back to Jupiter in Gemini, in your third house. Great for learning, publishing, marketing. It's about really spreading, that's all that Jupiter, ideas, that's the Gemini in the third house. Very favorable for maybe getting support, maybe getting some camaraderie with siblings or next door neighbors. But the third house has a lot to do also with traveling, and Jupiter is the traveling planet. And with Venus, pleasure-seeking Venus, many of you might be compelled, inclined, to go on a pleasurable trip by the end of May into the first part of June. Now, Aries, this is part of the forecast where I like to examine how these planetary energies may be impacting your body, your relationships, your business. Well, I've been talking all about finance, which is business, but let's start with your body. Mars is the athletic planet. It's the warrior planet. Mars is aggressive and patient, assertive. It's a fire sign. It's very fiery. And it's in your sign, whether it's transiting through your first house if you have an Aries rising, or through your sun sign if you are in Aries. And that Mars in Aries will bring you a lot of robust, vital energies. Maybe a lot of restlessness, but it's really favorable if you channel it through a lot of exercising, a lot of physical activities. It's certainly going to stimulate a lot of risk-taking, but also a lot of confidence with that assertive Mars in your sign. When it comes to relationships, I always look to Venus, first of all. Venus is that planet of love and marriage, cooperation. Venus, the first 3 weeks, is in Taurus in your second house of income. Not so much drawing your attention to romantic matters. Certainly, that Venus is being aspected by the sun. The sun's putting a spotlight on Venus. Jupiter, expansive Jupiter, is also in Taurus on your Venus. By the 15th of May, as Mercury goes into Taurus, everything that's on your mind, what you're thinking about. So even though when you first look at this Venus in your second house of income, you're thinking, oh, you're going to be more your attention is more on money matters, more on finances, not so much on romance. But having the Sun and Venus and Mercury impacting your Venus, there's still going to be this really strong emphasis of Venus, of contentment, of enjoyment, of romance, and of course Venus with Jupiter. As I've already said, you could be making plans to go on a pleasurable, romantic vacation. Now, when it comes to business, all that Taurus energy, major emphasis on money management, how to increase your income, could be very favorable for launching a new project, a new business project with Mars, with assertive, risk-taking, aggressive Mars in your sign. So taking big risks, starting new ventures, starting new jobs to make more monies. And then at the end of the month, with all those planets, Sun, Venus, Jupiter moving into Gemini, you could be taking some classes to get better job training so you can make more money. A lot of you, the third house could be really favorable, connected with the second house of income. The third house is sales. And so whether this is looking for a new job, or if you're pitching ideas to a company to break more work, and with that Venus, you're getting a lot of popularity. And so that third house, you could be, interviewing and getting job offers, but it's really good for selling yourself, selling your products to make more money. And then that Mars in Aries, you're really initiating major new projects. One last thing, the new moon is in Taurus in your second house of income, aligned with Uranus. And the Sun in Taurus will also be crossing over Uranus, as it will once a year. So this is also a month. There could be some exciting new opportunities, really shaking things up for some positive change. And that energy continues through the first week of June. But the full moon always brings what the new moon was initiating, brings it to light, brings it to a culmination. And around the 23rd of May is the full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is 9 signs past Aries. So you are starting with the new moon, planting seeds to be really focused on how to increase your income. Really focus on financial business management. Then that new moon is revealing what was the seeds that were planted by the 23rd in Sag in your ninth. Well, the ninth house deals with traveling, education. It's the opposite of Gemini, so it's two sides of the same coin. But I think there's a lot of learning to new job skills to make more money, going back to school to get a degree to give you more financial security in the future. But the ninth house is teaching. Some of you may not just want to learn, but start to teach. But under that energy, that influence of teaching is marketing, of publishing. And so some of you might be launching a new online business or really expanding your website, because that ninth house is where all this is coming to light. The ninth house is all that teaching, publishing, marketing, spreading ideas out to the world. And with that Mars in Aries this month, once every 2 years, you are really, confident to take risks, initiate new ventures, to get a job, start a new business, or certainly to increase your income. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.